Good day, everyone, especially to you, madam. The topic that I will going to report is about writing letters, memos, and emails. So now, why do we communicate in written form? People write letters, emails, and memos for a variety of reasons, such as requesting information, requesting action, providing information, describing an event, declining a request, and expressing appreciation. Writings allows us the time to think about what we want to say and how we want to say it. It gives us the chance to express ourselves more precisely and clearly. So through writing, we can think more all that we want to say in our letter. Writing letters. A letter is a written message that can be handwritten or printed on paper, right? Letters reflect your communication skills. So here are the essential letter components. Writer's address, date, inside address or the recipient's address, salutation, letter body, complimentary close, signed name, and type name. That is the example of letter. Okay, so let's move on to the several kinds of letters. These are the cover letters, personal letters, and recommendation letters. So let's tackle first the cover letters. An effective cover letter should explain the reasons why the individual is interested in the specific organization, as well as identify the person's more relevant skills or experiences. A cover letter ought to follow the basic format by addressing three general issues: the introductory paragraph, the body paragraph, and the concluding paragraph. In the introductory paragraph, it answers the questions why the person is writing. In the body paragraph, it answers the questions what the person has to offer. And in the last paragraph, it answers the questions how the person will follow up. Let's move on to the personal letters. Their type of letters are sent to apologize, appreciate, complain, congratulate, invite, and so on. Personal letters are also known as friendly letters. They normally have parts. The first is the heading. This includes the address and the date. The second is the greeting. The greeting always ends in comma. The third is the body. Included the message the person wants to write. Normally in personal letters, new paragraphs are indented. The fourth is the complimentary close. This short expression is always a few words. It ends in comma. And the fifth one is the signature line. The name is typed or printed. If the letter is formal, this may be skipped, and the writer may just sign the letter. Okay, so let's move on to the letter of recommendation. A letter of recommendation is often used by a company's hiring personnel to gather additional information about the employee. Okay, so another is the memos. What is a memo? A memo is a short message that's typically used to communicate official business policies and procedures within a company. A memo is a quick, easy way to communicate with a colleague or a supervisor in your own department, in another department, or in another company. So there in memos, we can see the policies and procedures. Here are the tips in writing memo. You must use parenthetical definition for your audience. Use simple words, readable sentences, and specific details. Write an informal or friendly tone. Use proper grammar. Okay, so here are the parts of memo. First is the heading. In heading, we can see the date, the complete date, and the current date. 2 is the reader's name and the job titles. From is your name and your job title. And subject is that we can see there is that what is memo all about. Another is the opening. There we state the purpose of the memo. And the summary, it explains the situation in more detail. the discussion, any and other info that you need to present, the closing, and make a courteous closing statement. Do not use sincerely or other letter like ending. So, in memo, you are not using sincerely like you are writing your letters. And the last one is necessary attachments, which include any as needed. That is the example of memo. As you can see in the screen, there are the heading, the opening, the summary, the discussion, and the conclusion. Okay, so let's move on to the emails. Email is a valuable tool for communication in both the corporate world and the personal domain. It is faster and cheaper than a letter and less intrusive than a phone call. Email is able to overcome obstacles such as different locations and time zones. How to write an email? You must recognize your audience. Identify yourself. Use the correct email address. Write an effective subject line. Keep the message brief. Organize your email. Use highlighting techniques sparingly and proofread your email. Why you are going to use the correct email address? You must use the correct email address so that your message will be sent, because the wrong email address will result into message not sent. Another is provide an effective subject line. Reader might not open email with vague subject lines due to fear of spam and viruses. So there's a possibility that your message cannot be seen of your receiver because they might become fear to open it. And the another is write a concise email messages. So you must limit your message in sending it in email. Why? Because the readers do not like to scroll endlessly, and you must only put the important information on your email. Then organize the email. You must to provide the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening.